As a channel that prides itself on covering indie development, good, bad, ugly, whatever the case is, I have to ask one question. Unity, are you out of your fucking mind? Okay, I'm on the Unity blog and like I'm actually getting a little bit heated here. Unity plan pricing and packaging updates. This was posted literally today, like 5 fucking minutes ago. Effective January 1st, 2024, we will introduce a new Unity runtime fee that's based on game installs. We will also add cloud-based asset storage, Unity DevOps tools, and AI at runtime at no extra cost to Unity subscription plans this November. It's a lot of words. What does it actually mean? We're introducing a Unity runtime fee that is based upon each time a qualifying game is downloaded by an end user. We chose this because each time a game is downloaded, the Unity runtime is also installed. Also, we believe that an initial install-based fee allows creators to keep the ongoing financial gains from player engagement, unlike a revenue share. This line is total fucking bullshit. Let's break it down. Games qualify for the Unity runtime fee after 2 criteria is met. So, if a game passed the minimum revenue threshold in the last 12 months, and 2, the game has passed a minimum lifetime install count. So, let's scroll down. Let's figure out what that is. If you're developing on Unity Personal or Unity Plus, which most indie developers are using, some people are using Unity Pro, Unity Enterprise, we'll go into that as well. But if you're on Unity Personal or Unity Plus and you have made $200,000 or more in the last 12 months and you have at least 200,000 lifetime game installs, guess the fuck what? Time to pay up, buddy. If you made $200,000 in the last 12 months and you had 200,000 life to date, and that's not even in the last 12 months, that's just in total 200,000 installs, guess what? You're paying 20 cents per install. So let's do the math. So at 200,000 installs, you're looking at paying what, 40 grand? If you have 200,000 installs and you made $200,000 in the last 12 months, most likely you launched on Steam. Chances are you've already paid the 30% cost that goes to Steam. And now you have to pay $40,000 to Unity because people install your game. Could you imagine if there was a group of people out there who wanted to completely sink an indie development studio where they would just go and download the game a million times over, install? This is unfucking believable. 15 cents per install for 1 to 100,000. If you go over that, it's 0.075, and then it's negligible after that because you're already paying for Unity Pro and Unity Enterprise. But the fact is, this one hurts small or solo dev teams so much if you get any form of success. Take BattleBit, for example. Imagine how much they would have to pay. And it's funny, Gary Newman, like Gmod Gary, to put it, fuck off, in which he says Unity wants us to start paying them $200,000 a month. On top of the fact that this is most likely not in anybody's user agreement, so the developers that are currently in the middle of production on a video game that happen to choose Unity, if you're using like Unity Personal or Unity Plus, hey, guess what? You're fucked. Who's making the decisions at Unity? If you guys want to know who's actually in charge of making these stupid fucking decisions at Unity, let's go back to EA circa 2011, shall we? EA CEO John Riccitiello, who is now the CEO of Unity, tells shareholders in 2011 that, and let me zoom in here so you guys can see, that charging $1 to reload in Battlefield 3 was dug out of the lovable rouge. This guy wanted to charge you for bullets in Battlefield. That's who is running Unity right now. Just to give you a little insight into what kind of people are involved in the higher up positions in these gaming companies. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about the art. They only care about the money. Fuck this asshole. Straight up, fuck this asshole. There's so many implications to what this is about to cause for solo devs or small dev teams that are using Unity, because think about it. If you have 200,000 installs, and according to this, it's not an or, so you have to, and have $200,000 in revenue. So if I'm a dev and I release a free game on Steam that utilizes Unity and we hit that 200,000 install threshold, now we got to be careful. Because if we make $200,000 in microtransactions in our game, we have to pay $40,000 of that, not including the taxes that are going to be pulled off of that, not including all of these other things. It's going to incentivize small dev teams that are making free-to-play games using Unity to fill it with even more microtransactions because now they have another cost to cover. Are you fucking stupid, Unity? Like, I understand you have to make money, but is this the right way to go about it? This is the dumbest thing you could have done. If you're a developer and you're using Unity, honestly, I know Unreal has its problems, but you have to be looking at these kind of dumb, boneheaded decisions that they continually make and wonder what's going on in the back end. How is a company that has this much market share in the game dev space completely mismanaged like this? Imagine what Tarkov is thinking right now because they've hit that threshold 10 times over. I mean, imagine, not that I give too much of a fuck about them, but imagine what Battlestate Games is thinking right now with Tarkov. They're about to launch Tarkov Arena, and they continually hit these thresholds month over month. I just saw on Twitter they banned, 16,000 cheaters in the last 30 days? Those people are going to be buying new accounts, which now registers as a first-time install. So now, in Battlestate's case, while they're trying to battle against cheaters and ban accounts and then people buy new ones, they're actually being fucking charged for it. This would ruin developers' incentive to ban cheater accounts. But guys, they do give us incentives, so qualifying customers may be eligible for credits towards the Unity runtime fee based on the adoption of Unity services beyond the editor, such as Unity gaming services or Unity level play mediation for mobile ad-supported games. So listen, if you put mobile ads in your game and you use Unity services to do it, hey, you get a little discount. You get a little less fucked. Huh? That sound good to you? You want to get just a little less fucked? Put ads in your game. Like I said, if you are a developer and you are working in Unity, maybe consider alternatives. These are signs of a desperate company trying to stay afloat, and I don't quite understand how Unity is in this situation. It's funny because just over a year ago, I made a video saying the downfall of Unity is upon us. They laid off a ton of employees, and they did a new $4.4 billion merger with a malware company. As I'm recording this, Unity actually just put out a tweet. Today, we announced a change to our business model, which includes new additions to our subscription plans and the introduction of a runtime fee. Yes, this is a price increase, and it will only affect a small subset of current Unity editor users. A small subset I tend to disagree with. Today, a large majority of Unity editor users are currently not paying anything and will not be affected by this change. The Unity runtime fee will not impact the majority of our developers. I mean, sure, you can say that. The developers who will be impacted are generally those who have successful games and are generating revenue way above the thresholds we outlined in our blog. This means that developers who are still building their businesses and growing the audience of their games will not pay a fee until you become successful, and then they come a knockin'. It is a fee for being successful. The program was designed specifically this way to ensure developers could find success before the install fee takes effect. We want to be clear that the counter for Unity runtime fee install starts on January 1st, 2024. It is not retroactive or perpetual. We will charge once for a new install, not an ongoing perpetual license royalty like a revenue share. We looked for ways to lessen the impact on developers and provide ways to bring the runtime fee to zero. This sounds pretty shitty. Thanks for the warning. We were relatively early in development, but we'll begin moving to UE 5 after this. Let's go. All right, so I recorded parts of this video yesterday when the news broke. Today, new day, a lot of shit. This thing is blowing up across the internet. We have a bunch of developers that are now basically saying they're stepping back from using Unity regardless if they roll back these changes. I think this is the actual downfall of Unity. So Landfall Games basically put out a post saying that they use Unity for their games such as Totally Accurate Battleground Simulator. They end this post by saying, we would love to stick with the engine we have used to make our games for the past 10 years, but at present, we don't see how we can start any new projects using Unity when there is no way to know what kind of retroactive business model they might throw at us in the future. The developer of Cult of the Lamb has threatened to delete the game on January 1st amid the ongoing Unity pricing backlash. And here is their post here. Quit being stinky, Unity. At Massive Monster, our mission has been to support and promote new and emerging indie games. The introduction of these fees by Unity could pose significant challenges for aspiring developers. No Breaks Games has put out their post as well about Humans Fall Flat and Humans Fall Flat 2, which is currently in development using Unity. So they're nervous about all of these changes. This is where things get even worse. I'm using Steven Totilo here, who has had some communications with Unity and is getting clarifications on some of the more worrisome wording here. This is horrible. So he says, I got some clarification. Hold on, make sure you guys can see it. I got some clarifications from Unity regarding their plan to charge developers per game install. Now, you would think that Unity would backpedal a little bit. And granted, they have, we're gonna get into it. But if a player deletes a game and reinstalls it, that's 2 installs, 2 charges. Are they fucking dumb? Are they dumb? John Riccitiello needs to be fired. He needs to resign. He needs to get the fuck off the board. Get him out. Same if they install on 2 devices. If you're making a mobile game on Unity and you put it on the App Store and somebody downloads it and installs it on their iPhone and the iPad, you get charged fucking twice for it. If they uninstall it and then install it again, charged twice for it. That's fucking insane. Charity games and bundles are exempted from the fees. I'm not sure how they're going to be able to track that. If I buy something on the Humble Bundle, how does Unity know if I got it in a bundle or not? Do we now have to register keys as developers, like which ones are part of bundles, which ones aren't? How are they even going to track that? Now, of course, Unity, they're starting to backpedal a little bit, and this is good. We need to start putting pressure on these bullshit-ass companies for doing stupid decisions like this. They put a post out here highlighting some of the question-answer pairs from this thread below for visibility. How are you going to collect installs? That's one of the biggest questions that people are asking. How are you actually tracking this? We leverage our own proprietary data model. We believe it gives an accurate determination of the number of times the runtime is distributed for a given project. If a user reinstalls, re-downloads a game, changes their hardware, will that count as multiple installs? Yes, the creator will need to pay for all future installs. They put an update. Unity has now told me more and also changed its tune on one of its policies. So here's the link here. They're already starting to fucking backpedal, and I'm tired of this. I got a major update from Unity about their new fees. So Unity regrouped and now says only the initial installation of a game triggers a fee. Demos mostly won't trigger fees. What the fuck does mostly mean? This is something I didn't even talk about when I recorded yesterday. I didn't even think about the implications. If I'm a dev and I distribute a demo for free on Steam, I get charged for the installs. So guys, Steam Next Fest and demos and all of that could potentially go away. Why as a solo dev would I distribute a demo to get feedback and let people know what the game is like if I'm gonna be charged an astronomical amount for it? That's fucking dumb. You get charged 20 cents on a dollar that you don't even make in this scenario. Devs not on the hook for Game Pass. Okay, fair enough, don't care. Devs shouldn't be on the hook for Game Pass anyway. That's not a feature. Fuck off. I love the wording that demos mostly won't trigger fees. What does that even fucking mean? And it's funny because Unity regrouped and now says only the initial installation of a game triggers a fee. But when you look at their own blog where they're trying to clarify and talk about what's going on, they say right here, if a user reinstalls, re-downloads a game, changes their hardware, will that count as multiple installs? Yes, the creator will need to pay for all future installs. Get your fucking shit together, guys. Figure it out. How do you guys put a post out and then you're talking to people on Twitter, giving them information, but your own official blogs don't have updated information? It's a fucking shit show. What's gonna stop us being charged for pirated copies of our games? We do already have fraud detection practices in our ads tech, which is solving a similar problem, so we will leverage that know-how as a starting point. As a starting point here, guys. So January 1st, we got about 3 months before this actually goes into effect. They've got to figure out how to be able to detect if somebody downloaded a game fraudulently and then installed it. It's a starting point, guys. But until we figure it out, fuck you. Right? That's what they're saying. We recognize that users will have concerns about this, and we will make available a process for them to submit their concerns to our fraud compliance team. How about you just don't do it? Hey, how about you just not do it at all? That's probably better if you just didn't fucking do it at all. I realized I didn't even record an outro for this video. It's just been me ranting about this for 2 days, and it's got me really fucking pissed off. Not only because it affects the developers, but it's the trickle down. It's going to eventually affect you as a gamer. Because if I'm a developer, I'm now going to have to figure out a creative way to cover another cost that just doesn't need to be there. I'm glad to see a bunch of developers coming out of the woodwork and just basically blasting Unity's ass about it. It needs to happen. Pressure needs to come on. We've seen this same kind of shit with Wizards of the Coast and what they tried to do with Dungeons and Dragons. These companies try to squeeze every fucking dollar they can out of the people who are putting these companies on the map in the first place. It makes no sense, so I'm glad to see a bunch of developers coming together, and this is my little piece of the pie to let you guys know, if you have a game that you love that is developed on Unity, try to come out the woodwork and support the developers as much as you can. Make noise about it, hold these people's feet to the fire. Maybe we can get them to backpedal just a little bit more than they already kind of seem like they're doing now. Pull the pitchforks out, boys. Let's fucking get them. My name is Big Fry. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.